Mavs get the rebound. McKinley right, former Colorado Buffalo, no, and the Bulls win it 115-112, and the Mavericks are officially eliminated.
Coming into the season, the Mavs organization, along with their players and coaches, had really high hopes for where this season could lead, especially considering the fact that the Mavs had just come off a Western Conference Finals appearance where they eventually lost to the Golden State Warriors, but so did everyone else. That's why they're champs. So the Mavs were really looking forward to the 2023 campaign. However, there was one big roadblock during the offseason in which Jalen Brunson, who was a rising star along with Luka Doncic, well, he left the team in free agency to join the New York Knicks. Now, why weren't the Mavs able to work out a deal? If you ask Mark Cuban, the owner, he'll blame it on Jalen Brunson's dad, right? He'll say that Jalen Brunson's dad really wanted him to leave and go to the Knicks. But if we're being real, it kind of just seems like the Mavs had a lot of time during the season to offer Jalen Brunson the money he deserved, and they just didn't want to do that. They didn't see that he was valuable enough for his asking price. However, the Knicks did, and that's exactly why he's in New York and why the Knicks are in the playoffs. But enough of that. You see, coming into the year, they had high expectations. And heading into the trade deadline, the team was looking pretty average, with a record of 28-26. So the Mavs decide to pull the trigger on February 5th and get Kyrie Irving from the Brooklyn Nets. Now, for weeks leading up to this point, the only real contending team that was looking to get Kyrie was the Los Angeles Lakers. And somehow, someway, Mark Cuban slips underneath the Lakers and steals from right under them to get Kyrie Irving. Now, was the trade package any good? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the Nets were thinking with this trade package. At the time, there was some reports that the Nets were still trying to contend while trading away Kyrie Irving, so that's why they made this trade in particular, only for them to trade away Kevin Durant a few days later. So this trade wasn't very good. And if you are kind of confused about what I'm talking about, well, let me fill you in. Essentially, the Mavs gave up Markieff Morris, Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, 2029 first-round pick, 2027 and 2029 second-round picks. So you might be thinking, okay, there's not really like any star coming back for Kyrie. That was kind of a bunch of garbage. Well, it wasn't really garbage because the Mavs somehow got worse after that move. Yes, they didn't give up any like superstars, but they did give up heavy contributors, especially on the defensive side. I mean, Dorian Finney-Smith is a defensive star, and when you get a guy like Kyrie for him in return, you're losing heavy on that one side of the game. Now, Kyrie does make up for Spencer Dinwiddie. You know, both are really good offensively. Kyrie clearly better. So losing Spencer, not that bad. But you can't really replace Dorian Finney-Smith with Kyrie's defense. And this lack of defense is what's hurt the Mavs in the second half of the season. Now, this failure that the Mavs are going through, you don't blame Kyrie. It's not Kyrie's fault, all right? Because he's come to Dallas and he's played in almost every game. He's not really having any drama or anything. It's just that the Mavs don't have a complete roster filled out amongst Luka and Kyrie. The roster isn't whole. And that's what they're looking to do this offseason, is to fill out a roster that better matches their two superstars. Did you see what I said there? This offseason, they're looking to do that. Why? Well, they're already looking ahead. They see this as a failed season. I mean, currently they are 38-24, which means they got 2 games left. One against the Bulls, one against the Spurs. 2 pretty easy wins. They're half a game out of a playoff spot, where the Thunder are 39-42. So if the Thunder lose out, they lose their last game, and the Mavs win their next 2, they're in. They're in as a 10th seed. But, you know, I don't think the Mavs want to go in as a 10th seed, struggle for 2 play-in games, hopefully squeak in only to become an 8th seed and go against the Denver Nuggets in the first round, where they're clearly not ready to play any playoff series. I mean, the team has not looked good for weeks at this point. I mean, since that ridiculous buzzer beater from Maxi Kleber when they played the Lakers back in March 17th, the Mavs have only won 2 other games, with one of those games being last night, where Sacramento, they kind of choked the lead. Whatever, Sacramento. Do your thing. You're a number 3 seed somehow. Anyway, besides that Sacramento win, the Mavs only had 1 win in their last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, in their last 8 games. So, you don't exclude the Sacramento game that just happened last night. They were 1 win in the last 8. So that's pretty rough. No way that they go into the playoffs as an 8th seed and take out the Denver Nuggets. That's not happening. So the organization is looking at the future, and they're pretty much, they're going to bench Luka after the first. They're not going to play Kyrie, and if they're probably trying to lose. Why? Because if they don't get a top 10, I'm pretty sure it's a top 10 protected pick that they have. If it falls out of the top 10, the pick goes to the Knicks. So they want to try and squeak into that top 10, which they could do by missing the playoffs, give them higher lottery odds to get their pick. And with that pick, they might trade it. They could possibly, the lottery gods can be in their favor, get a top 4 pick somehow. But more importantly, that pick now becomes an asset which they could use to build around their superstars. And not building around them properly is the reason they're missing the playoffs. The question is, does Kyrie Irving sign back with the Mavs? Because if he doesn't, the Mavericks organization is screwed. They have Luka Doncic, and then Kyrie leaves in the offseason. Where do they go from here? I have no idea. I have no idea what Mark Cuban is gonna do if Kyrie leaves. So the plan for the Mavs and Dallas is that Kyrie hopefully signs back in free agency, and if he does, then the Mavs can start building a team. They can start constructing a roster. It's all dependent on Kyrie. Now, Kyrie has but he's said to Mark Cuban personally that he's satisfied with how things are going in Dallas. Satisfied in the sense that he's happy to play with Luka, and he doesn't hate Dallas. He's not satisfied with the situation, of course, because they keep losing games. So, for the Mavs fans' sake, let's hope that Kyrie Irving signs back with him. And as a Lakers fan, personally, I don't really want him. Not that I hate the guy, but like D'Angelo Russell, Jared Vanderbilt, they're all balling. Malik Beasley, not so much. But, Lakers fan, I wouldn't mind if Kyrie was off the market, because then there would be no chance of us going out and getting him and making our team possibly worse. Just saying. Alright. That's it for the video. That's all I wanted to say on this. What's the next video? You tell me. Let me know in the comments what you want to see next. Catch you later. Deuces. Much love.